Hey guys, is the countdown music still going on? That was weird. Hey guys, are we
Did it go?
live? Oh no, am I?
What happened?
I'm like repeating. Are we okay? Is the audio okay?
Oh no.
Are we good now?
You- Okay.
Everything's fine? So
Okay, good.
weird. I don't know why I hear myself like repeating.
You still hear yourself?
Yeah. There's no echo on your end? I'm
I don't
looking at
hear.
chat.
Keep
So
going.
weird. Hold on. Maybe it's on my end. Hold on. I think we're good now. Hey
Do you still hear
guys.
it?
No, I'm good. That was weird. Okay, sorry. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for joining us. Have some special guests with me tonight, and I'll introduce them in just a second. We're still waiting for Adam. Adam, are you here? Maybe I told him the wrong time. It is very late for Adam right now. It's like 2 in the morning. So Adam will hopefully join us in a little bit. But I have a very special guest, first time on the channel. I have my good friend Ash Lauren, Halloween Horror Nights. I'm saying expert because we were talking before. So I'm saying expert.
It's a big title.
We were talking a lot about Halloween Horror Nights, all the updates, which we'll be talking about on stream today. And I'm excited. I'm excited. But let's say hi to Chad. Hey guys.
Hi,
Hey
Chad.
everybody. Hold on, let me go back. I'm going back into chat. I did see a comment from I saw a comment, I think it was from Nathan. Hold on, let me get back to that. I think Nathan said, we're only a couple of subscribers away from 3,000. If we can get to Pam to 3,000 subscribers tonight, she can go on the Skyliner tomorrow. Thanks, Nathan.
Are you going tomorrow?
I hope not. I hope I hope
Like
not.
next week,
I
maybe.
think I think we need how many more subscribers? I think we need like 30 more subscribers. So
30. That's it?
close. Yeah, we're close.
We could do 30 subscribers. Come on.
I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Hey, Steven. Hey, TD. My amazing mods. And I saw Dole Whip Dave before in chat. Hey, Dole Whip Dave. Hey,
Less than
Allison.
30.
Hey, Keith. Hey, Spider. Hey, guys. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Kyle Lee. How is everybody? Thank you for joining us. If you guys are excited to hear some Halloween Horror Nights and Universal news in general, we'll talk a little bit of Disney as well. But a lot of things are happening at Universal. So I thought, you know what, let's dedicate a whole home stream to Universal with my awesome guest, Ash. So I'm excited. Hey guys. If you're getting a drink, hey Allison, if you're getting a drink before going on, just don't get anything with mint in it. If you guys saw the last stream, Mom's drink had so much mint. It was a salad.
Wait, what did she drink?
Well, it was like one of the non-alcoholic drinks at Trader Sam's, and it was like a mocktail. It was like pineapple and it had mint in it, but it was like legit like all mint. Just the
They're like,
whole
there's no
thing.
alcohol. Let's just put a lot of mint in this. So
I know, right? Just make it taste good. Put a lot of mint. But it was basically a salad. It was a mint salad that she got.
very interesting drink choice. Actually, have you ever had the Halloween Horror Nights drinks?
I have not.
Last year, they were not good.
No?
They put so much bitters in it.
I've heard of the bitters. I've heard
I
that.
was like, oh, it can't be that bad. And then I had a drink and I was like, nope, this is not for me. Don't like this at all.
Yeah, TD says Pam drank healthy. It was very healthy.
Yeah.
It was. See, Keith was
It's
there.
probably still better than having bitters in a drink.
True. Yeah, I've heard of the bitter fiasco over at Universal. Every specialty drink that they make has bitters in it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I was like, it can't be that bad. Then trying it, then it's so expensive. I was like, I can't throw this out. What do I do with this?
I have to drink it.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I have water tonight. Oh my gosh, I keep dropping this. Hold on, I'm moving this. It's been a crazy stream already, but if you guys are excited to hear some Halloween Horror Nights updates, hit that like button, consider subscribing. Again, we are only 30 subscribers away from 3,000, which is insane. I wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, maybe at like the end of the summer, I'll get close to 3,000. I really wasn't expecting to get to 3,000 this early. So thank you guys. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Hey, guys. I'm saying hi. And Mom's in chat. Mom said it was very minty. Yeah. Hey, mister. How are you? Hey, Wendy. But should we get into it? Should we get
Yes.
into some Halloween Horror Nights
I wore my
news?
Halloween Hornet shirt.
Nice. What year is that from?
2022.
2022.
It says every
Nice.
day's Halloween.
Ooh, that's awesome. I know people like collect the shirts and they can get pricey if you're,
They
you know,
are. Well, yeah, I mean, this year was a $33 a t-shirt, I think.
yeah. Yeah, I know. So,
I haven't been a fan yet, though, of the merch so far.
no, you haven't liked the neon?
Have you?
No.
It's very
I was
interesting.
I was excited though because I thought they were gonna have a big kind of like punk rock theme, but I haven't seen anything punk rock yet.
Like, if that's, like, gonna be the theme, I'll be okay with it. But, I mean, also, I guess it depends on what the rest of the house is. Like, I feel like also when you go to Halloween Horror Nights, like, at first you're not really a fan of things, and then you're like, oh, but that house was amazing. So then you just end up buying a t-shirt or whatever for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I ended up buying Dueling Dragons
I
last
was
year.
gonna say, I almost bought the Dueling Dragons
Yeah,
t-shirt.
because I was like, I liked the ride when it used to be in Islands, but then I was like, you know what, I want the shirt now because I actually really like the house.
Yeah. Hey, who dat Dave? How are you? What did you say? Pam's IG of horror Pam is phenomenal. Oh, did Mom repost something on Instagram? Follow Mom on Instagram, guys. She posts more photos of me than myself on my own Instagram. So go follow Mom.
Does
I'm
she take all
sure
those photos of you?
she does. Yeah.
She's a good photographer.
Oh, awesome. Thank you. See, Mom. See, I always make fun of my mom because it's like she's not even looking at the camera. She's just like this.
I think you look good in all the photos that I see like on that. I was like, okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Tim. Hey, Fuzzy Wuzzy. I watched Pam's past Halloween streams to get ready for tonight. Awesome. Yeah. That was actually my first year at Halloween Horror Nights. How many years have you been going to Halloween Horror Nights, Ash?
So 2021 was my first year. I went.
Okay. 2021.
Yeah.
And
So
which
more
year
new.
has been your favorite so far?
I think 2022 was my favorite.
2022.
Yeah.
What would that was that the 31st
Yeah.
Halloween Horror Nights?
Mm-hmm.
That one looked really cool.
Yeah, that one. I remember. I think because I spent the most days that year when I went, so I just had the most fun, just like chilling in like the scare zones and just hanging out, and like you get to like enjoy the houses more once you like repeat going into each house. But I think overall, I enjoyed that one the most. But last year was fun too.
Last year was fun.
I did like
did you like any of the scare zones? Were any of them like your favorite?
last year. I like the what were they called? The one with the music by New York. What was the official name for that
Oh,
one?
was that the
With all the hippies?
Yes. I forgot the name of that one. That was Yeah, it was all the hippies
I can't think of
and
the official name, but that one was a
the
lot of fun
characters.
because they had like all like the music from like Woodstock, I guess, era. So I really enjoyed that one. And then I did really like usually I like the scare zones in Hollywood section.
In the Hollywood section,
Yeah,
yeah.
so last year was the Zodiacs in the Hollywood section. But that area is usually like the most fun. Like they interact with you the most. Like if you're just sitting there and like if you keep going back to that section, a lot of these characters like remember who you are, so they kind of like will find you just to like because they remember you were there before. So I like usually that was like the most fun to just like sit and relax in. At least I always enjoyed that one.
They have some tables there in the Hollywood section, right?
Yeah, because they have like the benches, and then you could like chill by like Mel's Diner over
Yes.
there. You could still like see everyone get scared and stuff. But yeah, last year like the Zodiac scares actors like they were modeling for like photos. I'm like, oh okay. So I had fun in that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, because if you go on the sidewalks at Halloween Horror Nights, the scare actors can't scare you. You actually have to be in the streets. That was something I learned. So if you don't want to be scared right away, just hop onto a sidewalk
Yeah,
and just watch people get scared.
that is true. That is a good tip. If you are afraid to go in the scare zone, just walk around them. And if you really want to people watch, Hollywood is the section to be in.
Yes, definitely. Grab a seat and just enjoy.
Yeah. Actually, in 2021 though, I think it was called Seek and Destroy. That was my favorite, actually, Scare Zone. That was in the New York area. And they had um like people that were like walking around like I need help, but I really thought it was like a guest at the park asking for help and then they like kind of jump scared you. And they got me every single time. I really thought it was a guest, like I really need help. And I'm like, what's wrong? Are you okay? And then I got scared.
They like tricked you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
was like, oh, you are not a guest. You are a worker.
god. Oh my gosh. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's great. Seek and destroy. Wow.
Yeah. That was
That's
a good one.
that's cool. Was that the one where they had like it was like lasers or something like that? They had
Yeah,
like
kind of.
aliens
It wasn't really
kinda.
aliens. It kind of reminded me of like 1984. Like they were like I think in like these like white suits. I'm not really sure what they were supposed to be, but that gave me like 1984 vibes. But it was just even like they just like would like stand right behind you. Like I think I was actually with Jay and like Tugs. I was talking to them, and I didn't know they were standing like right behind me. And then they're like, Ashley, please turn around. This guy's been behind you for quite a while.
Oh my gosh. Yes, TD. I have all my hats here. All my favorite hats. Hat in background next to my DeLorean and Donald. But yeah, but let's talk a little bit about the houses that they've announced. They haven't announced all the houses yet for Orlando, and I think they've only released one of the houses for Hollywood so far. But let's talk about some of the original houses. I know they are bringing back one house. Was it a house or was it a scare zone? I think it might have been a house. It was Slaughter Cinema 2. They're
That was a
bringing back.
house.
That was a house?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That one I'm actually kind of the most excited about
Yeah, I think so
because
too.
they have, I think each room is going to be like one of those B movies,
Mm-hmm.
like a B movie. So I think it's going to be kind of interesting. What do you think, Ash?
I'm excited for that one. Also, I know currently in the tribute store, um, they have like the videotapes are from some of the videotapes are from the first house. So I'm excited to see if they're gonna do like a sequel even within like the original houses. But I know that one was like a fan favorite, and like that one also, like the Yeti houses were from the original house that they had.
Ooh,
So
okay.
I'm excited to see what they're gonna do. Actually, did you like the Yeti house last year? I don't know if that's what it was called, but that was also a fun house.
Yes, I liked it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. So I know that one like was like it came from that the cinema house originally.
Oh, okay. So they took like that one part of that house and they made an entire house out of it. That's really
Yeah, like
cool.
each year they kept like making like different storylines, but it originally came from like that house.
Nice. Okay.
So it should be interesting to see what they're going to do with that this year.
Yeah, and I know that they gave a preview at one of like these horror conventions of a
Yeah,
monster that's going to be there, and it was a punk rock monster, which made me think
yeah.
that's going to be the theme this year. This is it. But
Which
no.
I mean, well, at least we know that house definitely going to have like a punk rock section.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to have which is going to be cool. The monster actually looked really cool with a big mohawk and like a
Yeah,
skull face.
I think that's who was in one of the shirts so far that came out.
Was he in one of the shirts? I didn't even
I like
notice that.
when you like look at it now, you're like, oh, that's him from that.
Oh,
It makes
oh
sense now.
okay. Yes.
I think the
Okay.
first shirt that came out, or the second shirt, but this is like Halloween or something on the side in like a different language. But yeah, that one I'm really excited to see because I think the first house was HHN 28.
Oh, it was in HHN 28. Okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. See, Ash knows everything. And then I guess my next favorite for the original houses is Major Sweets Candy Factory.
I'm excited for that one.
I'm excited just for the smells.
Yeah, now that one was based off the scare zone that we had
Yes.
in 2022.
Yes, for Halloween Horror Nights 31.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm excited to see if they're gonna have some amazing kind of like sweet smells. But some people were actually worried that they might kind of like fake us out and do kind of a gross smell, kind of like the Exorcist house last year.
I don't want that smell to come back. That was disgusting. So let's hope it's not that. Because that house really did actually smell. Well, you didn't go in it, but that one smelled bad.
I didn't. I didn't.
It
That was
smelled like
like
vomit.
I didn't want to go into that house
Yeah.
mainly because of that, because I heard so many people were like, yeah, it stinks in there. So I
Yeah,
was
that
like,
one.
nah, I'm good.
Wait, someone in the chat wrote Nightmare Fuel isn't coming back. Is that true?
Is it? I didn't hear that. I don't think they announced anything yet for
I
the
hope that's
show.
not true. I just saw someone in the chat write that. I'm like, well, I don't want that to happen.
I didn't watch Nightmare Fuel last year. Did you?
Last year was the first year I watched it.
Okay. And you liked it, I guess,
I did,
obviously.
yeah. No, it was actually pretty good. It's one of those shows where it's like I think it's best you go in there not knowing what's happening, and you're like, oh, okay, this is the show.
I mean, I think they play cool music, right?
Yeah, the music is amazing, and like everyone who works on that show has to be like the most fit people. Like what they do in that show is actually really really cool to see. But I had no idea what it was when I went in. My friends just told me they're like sit in like this certain row, like that's the seat you want to sit in, and that's what we did. And I was like, okay, this is a good show. This is it. I mean, I know, but they definitely need a show, so I hope there is still a show.
I know that there was some it's not going to happen. I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I knew there were some rumors about Bill and Ted's coming back, but that just doesn't look like it's in the
Yeah, I
cards.
don't think that's gonna
So,
happen.
no, they've been kind of like teasing everybody with the tribute store. They put
Yeah.
Bill and Ted's, telephone booth
Mm-hmm.
up by the tribute store recently. So unfortunately, I don't think it's going to come back. I kind of wish I would have gone to Universal during when they had Bill and Ted's because I know everybody loved it
Me
so
too.
much. Did you ever watch it or?
I watched like the videos online. So what happened was in years past, my grandparents had a timeshare, so we always went in November to Orlando. So I always missed Halloween Horror Nights by like a week.
Okay.
And then after a while, we're like, why don't we just go during Halloween Horror Nights? So we kind of just decided to go down different weeks now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a Ghostbusters house would be cool. Yeah, we'll talk about some of the rumors that I know that they've mentioned doing a Universal Monsters house, and we were talking about this before the stream, right, Ash?
Yeah.
That Ash brought up, like, we're shocked that they didn't announce the Universal Monsters house because they gave a preview of the Dark Universe yesterday, which looks kind of amazing. We can talk a little bit about that now.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the Dark Universe
I
announcement?
am so excited for Dark Universe. It looks absolutely amazing. I just cannot wait to just walk around that whole. Well, I just can't wait to go to Epic Universe, but I'm definitely excited for that land. Um, yeah, everything looks good though too. Like the ride looks amazing. Both rides actually.
Yeah,
And the fact that they said they're gonna like not use as much like CGI, they're actually using real like animatronics is amazing. Like thank goodness it's not gonna be all like screens and all that stuff. So I'm excited to see what it's gonna be like.
yeah, I thought it was so cute. They showed like a meet and greet with Frankenstein's monster and Frankenstein's bride. I thought that
Yeah.
was adorable. It's gonna be really cute. And then that windmill that is going to light on fire, looks kind of incredible. From I think it was from the 1931 film of
Mm-hmm.
Frankenstein, that kind of classic scene where the mob is going after
Yeah.
Frankenstein. That's interesting. It's kind of like their dragon from Harry Potter. They needed
Exactly.
something to light on fire.
What's so interesting is that originally I just thought that it was gonna be like the castle would be like the main like focus, I guess, to see in that area. But the fact that I'm excited over a windmill is actually great. I'm like, yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that like in fire during the day, at nighttime. I want to see the difference. And then also like the fact that there's actually like a bar that's going to be inside it.
Oh yes, the you were talking about that, the tavern.
Yeah, I do like how also that each restaurant I think is going to have like their own kind of story too.
Oh, you mean like I think that, yes, they did mention that there was who was it? It was somebody, well, it was a girl, and I can't think of who it was.
Yeah, they said that I know the ride itself is going to be based off Victoria Frankenstein.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be like she, I guess, captures some of the monsters and is like doing studies on them. And
Mhm.
then Dracula is upset about this, and I guess there's gonna be like some type of fight or saving. I'm not really sure how that's gonna play out, but that's really interesting. But I know they said that one of the restaurants is gonna be like more of like a steakhouse, and it's gonna be like vampires are, I guess, the servers in that place.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. A little.
And the bar, like I guess in the windmill area, is gonna be like a monster hunter
Ooh, okay.
storyline. So
That's
they said that
crazy.
people, I guess, they're gonna have like people come in and like tell you like stories about like monster hunting and I guess who they captured or whatever they did.
Nice. I know. I feel like it's just going to be like Halloween Horror Nights, but like 24/7, just like all day, every day.
Yeah.
So it's going to be cool. But hey, guys, I saw a bunch of new people coming in. I'm just going to say hi real quick. Hey, Matthew. Hey, the Disney dude. Disney dude said, hopefully, I'll do my first Halloween Horror Nights this time.
You should.
Should. Yeah, last year was my first time, and I like horror movies, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
kind of a baby where, like, if it's too much, then I'm like, nah, I'm good. But I was actually shocked with how much I did enjoy it and going into the houses, even though I was scared. But I think that's the whole point, right? Is to
Yeah.
be
I
a
feel
little
like
bit scared.
it's a lot like scarier like the idea of it than when you go into the actual Halloween Horror Nights. Like then once
Yeah.
you're there, it's not that bad. And I think it's like then it's just like the fear of like when you first go through your house. Like then that's like the most scariest part. But then once you go through it, you're like, oh okay, I could do this. This is fine.
Okay. Got it. Hey, Dwayne. Hey guys, sorry if I missed anybody. Hey, Allison A. Hey guys. Hey Bubba. Let's see, Allison, I can't do horror. I'll cry. It's okay. It
Yeah.
it really isn't that bad. It's it it's I feel like once you're in the houses, you're just kind of so, like, awestruck with
Mhm.
what they've achieved with the details in all of the houses. I really wanna do this year I wanna do the lights on tours. I
Me
forgot what they're
too.
called, but you
Like
get to
behind the
pick, I think
scenes.
behind
Well,
the scenes?
yeah, I think it's called what wait, do I have it?
Yeah, it's you get a
Behind the
behind the
screens.
scenes.
That's what they're calling it this year.
Yeah, you get a behind the scenes tour. I think there's 2 different tours. You can do 3 houses or you can do 6 houses. So, it's at the discretion of whoever is touring at that point, so you don't know which houses you're going to go into.
It is usually set though.
Is it usually set? Like, it's
Yeah,
just
usually the 3 houses will always be the same 3 houses, and then the 6
okay,
houses will always be the same ones.
got it. Okay.
I
Okay.
guess it'll just be different, like, tour meaning, like whoever your actual, like, explaining and whatever inside stuff you're gonna learn in each house.
Got it. Okay.
And I
Hey
think it said online the starting price for the 3 house one is $100, and the 6 houses is 180 starting price.
Yeah, I thought it was a decent price for
Yeah,
the lights on, and you can take pictures in certain places. You can't take, like, video or anything, but you can take pictures whenever they say you can, so,
yeah.
you get to really see the detail that the 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 people put into making these houses, and really, like, I think that's what Universal does so well is getting those deep, like, details, like
Mhm.
like, with the, like, tribute houses and everything, just those little, like, hints and clues that they have for super fans, people and fans of Universal and all the Universal movies, and the theme parks. They really kind of get those little kind of, like, hidden gems that if you know
That
things,
Yeah, I
you
was gonna
see.
say that's what is like really cool to see. Also, like every year they usually do like a bunch of like different like little Easter eggs. And I know last year in all the houses, I believe it was ducks that they hid in all the houses.
Was it
Or
really?
frogs. It was like frogs or ducks. But a lot of people are like going through the houses now, like trying to look and find the items they realized were hidden. And it's also really cool because usually every year, like something kind of blows up like on Twitter or Instagram, like the year that Little Boo became very popular. And like that
Mm.
year, they kept like moving this pumpkin in one of the houses, and they realized that people really liked it. And then like Little Boo became like a basically its own little icon for Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah, I think wasn't Little Boo on the new merch that they just released?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
he's
adorable.
also in the new like the house that's going to be this year, the Major Sweets house. He's on the mayor's hat.
Really? Oh my gosh, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, there's like I mean I'm sure that's probably going to be there again this year, but they had like on the fan that was outside that scare zone, you see like a little bit on his hat.
Oh my gosh. See, it's those details.
Yeah,
I
it's pretty, pretty good.
it's really cool. It's really cool that they appreciate the fans where they would kind of sneak those in. So, and change it. That's kind of amazing. Just keep updating and changing it.
Yeah, I think it was like every day was like in a different spot like one year, and people were like looking for it in the houses, and yeah, it became a very like popular thing online.
That's awesome. Jonathan's asking, what is the RIP tour? Ash, do you want to take this?
The art. So it's basically like a VIP tour that you could do for Universal, but it's going to be for Halloween Horror Nights houses. So basically, it's like you get express kind of into all the houses. I'm not sure exactly if you get to pick which one because you're in a group of people. Unless you have like your own, I guess, private party. I'm sure though you're going to be with other people because it is very expensive. But it definitely is like probably a fun way to do Halloween Horror Nights because you are going to be skipping the crowds. So it's like an elite level of like an express pass to go into houses. And I do think they also like include food, like sample food too, before you go into the houses and like drinks. So
Yes.
it's definitely a good way to do Halloween Horror Nights if you have the money for it.
Yes, it is. It does get expensive depending on what day you're going. I know as the closer it gets to Halloween, the more expensive that it gets, and especially on the weekends. But if you're doing Halloween Horror Nights for one day, and this is it, I would recommend the
Yeah.
RIP tour for sure.
I
So
do think it said the starting price was $370. So again, I mean, if you pick, I guess, a good day to go on where it's not that expensive from there, it could be a really good way to do Halloween Horror Nights.
yes, no, definitely. Yeah, I think it's worth the price if you can afford it.
Especially if it like I'm pretty sure in years past it had like food and drinks.
Yes, I think in like I don't know if it's in the beginning of the
Yeah.
tour, you have like you go inside and they have light refreshments and light like appetizers.
hmm And I mean, you were there last year. It was the lines were crazy for food last year. So even to skip that and it already be kind of included in your price ticket is probably also great to just already have.
It was insane. I really didn't understand that at
Yeah,
all.
I do hope they this year have more food booths around everywhere because last year I think they had less. I'm not sure if that's why there were so many like lines everywhere, but it was unless you got food when you first came in through the door, like you were not eating that night.
No, no, not at all. And I mean, I don't think I tried any of the food because of that. I don't think I
Yeah,
tried anything.
I think
Did you
last
have
year
any of the
I
food?
tried the Last of Us food. I was upset because the ravioli can was sold out. You couldn't get the can.
I did have the ravioli can.
Okay, so you had something, or someone gave you a can.
Oh, no. It was Rob. My brother Rob wanted the
Okay.
ravioli can so bad. He's a big fan of the video games, Last of Us. So he's
hmm
like, I need to try this."
But it
And we
was it sold out at one point. That's how busy it was last year.
Yeah, because you got, like, a collectible, like, ravioli can with it.
hmm
So, we were there early. We were there it was before, like, any, like, of the scare actors were really out, and they had the food booths open. We got there super early, and we were able to get it, like, right away. But that line was insane,
Yeah,
like all the other lines, but that line was especially insane.
yeah. I
So,
think every day was super crowded. It was, but also every food line was very busy last year.
hey, guys, the Knicks are in. Movie Mania Nick and Main Street Nick are in. Hey, guys.
Hi.
Uh,
Oh wait, we still didn't talk about all the other houses. We kind of skipped around.
we didn't. I know we got distracted with Epic Universe,
I
but
know.
we went over 2 of the 6 of the original houses,
Yes.
and they have 10 houses, so they've only released 7 so far. The 6 original and then the 1 IP house, A Quiet Place, which we'll talk about in just a
Yes.
second. But let's go over the other 4 remaining original houses. We have Goblin's Feast,
Yes.
which I don't know. What do you think?
I'm kind of excited for it because I
Okay.
feel like it may be like Dueling Dragons. And
Okay.
that one was I actually liked it. Like it wasn't really scary or anything, but I enjoyed going through the house every single time. And especially if they could add like, different pets at the end or something, like could be fun.
Yeah, that was my favorite house last year was Dueling Dragons.
Yeah. So
It wasn't scary, maybe that's the reason why it was my favorite, but I loved the set design of Dueling
yeah.
Dragons. It was just beautiful. Just you felt like you were right outside of a castle, kind of navigating your way through, and I did hear that they might have one of the goblins that was in Dueling Dragons kind of in this new house,
Yeah.
kind of the main character. That I think it was right at the beginning when you entered Dueling Dragons, there was this
Hmm.
big goblin orc guy
Yeah, yeah,
that kind of came out at you. It was this huge character, and apparently that's going to be in Goblin's Feast. So I like how they kind of take from other years and use different characters. Like you mentioned before, that the Yeti was, just a small portion of one house one
yeah.
year,
Hmm.
and it becomes its own house. So
Exactly. So that's why I do think. I mean, God, it's not my top choice house right now, but I do think it could be good. It could have potential. This one.
yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be a fun house, kind of like the Yeti. It'll
Yeah.
be just like goofy and
Hmm.
fun, not super scary.
Yeah.
So
Which I do think they need that balance because, and then especially if you go through with like a good group of people, like it also makes the house like more entertaining or like scarier, like depending who you're with too.
and
Adam.
Adam's here.
Hello.
Hi, Adam. I'm sorry. Did we wake you up?
You didn't wake me up. My daughter woke me up. Yeah, I am so sorry. I was gonna be here about an hour ago, and I've been on the road doing a lot of miles and a lot of work, and I thought I need a little nap, and so I set an alarm on her whose name I shall not say, but let's just say it's an appliance that we all rely on and talk to, and is usually quite reliable. But apparently tonight she's having an off night, and she did not wake me up. So yeah, instead my daughter woke me up, and I was like, oh no. So I apologize for being late.
No, don't worry at all. I know it's very late by you, Adam. I appreciate you coming on. So
and
thank
and
you.
refreshed now apparently. So yeah. Although a little behind with everything that's been going on because like I said, I've been on the road a lot. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to catching up with a lot of things. I know Universal released the details of Epic Universe, which I know you guys have just covered, and you've just gone into Halloween Horror Nights. But
Yeah.
exciting stuff, exciting stuff.
I know. What did you see the preview that they had of the Dark Universe? What do you think of it?
Yes, yeah, the Dark Universe stuff. I was catching up on that on YouTube earlier before I fell asleep. So yeah, that looks fantastic. I'm really excited for that. There's so much stuff about Epic Universe I'm looking forward to, but now that they're starting to make things official and release the previews and stuff, it just ramps that up. Obviously, we're coming out to Florida in what, 9 weeks time, which is exciting. And obviously Epic Universe is not going to be open then, so we're already planning our next trip for when that is open. So yeah, that's just it's just kind of heightened it a bit, and watching that preview video earlier has just maybe start looking at the bank balance and trying to figure out how we're going to do this next year as well. So
I know. It's funny. Ash and I were talking about the potential pass holder prices for Epic Universe and how they're going to kind of update the annual passes to kind
okay,
of include Epic Universe. So it'll
is it
be
going to be?
interesting.
Yeah, is it going to be much of a hike? Do we know on the pricing? That's not an aspect I've looked at yet. So
We haven't heard
Yeah,
anything.
we don't know yet,
okay,
but I'm
oh
just
okay.
assuming it's going to be expensive.
It has to.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because we've been looking at Universal annual passes. Actually, I know a lot of British YouTubers that we watch. Every time we watch their vlogs, they all seem to, more and more of them, the British ones now, seem to have annual passes. Some for Disney, mostly a lot for Universal. And Kim and I have been looking at it and going, how, because obviously usually from the UK, if you come out to Florida, you tend to come out for a couple of weeks at a time because it's obviously long haul, and you tend to sort of spend thousands and thousands on that trip, and we were looking at it thinking, how have these people got annual passes, and are making enough regular trips to make it justifiable, and as it turns out, they're doing it for shorter stints, but then it actually makes the park admission cheaper in the long run. So we're considering doing something like that, but it depends on obviously if they then hike the prices beyond our reach, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So
They definitely have to up the price a little bit to include the 4 parks, but
yeah,
hopefully it won't be too crazy. But
yeah,
Jonathan
fingers
actually
crossed.
asked, and I'll ask all of you, what land are you looking forward to most in chat? Say what land you're looking forward to most. So we have the Dark Universe, we have Nintendo World, then we have How to Train Your Dragon, and then we have, what was the last one? Oh,
Harry
Harry
Potter.
You
Potter.
Yeah.
you got the Harry Potter one, yeah, and then you got the central hub as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Ash, we'll start with you. Which one are you looking forward to the most?
I mean, Dark Universe, I'm really excited for, but I just heard like that Harry Potter ride is supposed to be like brand new technology never used before. So that ride alone, I'm really excited for. But I guess from what we know right now, from what they announced, I'm gonna go with Dark Universe.
Yeah. And Adam, which one are you looking forward to most?
Um, I think prior to, and this might change again very very soon when they release more official details of the other lands. But prior to Dark Universe, I was very much like Ash there, looking forward to the Harry Potter stuff because Universal does it so well. It's a controversial one because I hate that Universal doesn't focus on its own IPs so much anymore. Like, they did away with Back to the Future and put it with The Simpsons, which is Fox, as we all know. And similarly, they did away with Jaws to do the Harry Potter stuff, which is Warner Brothers. And so, yeah, it annoys me that they don't focus on their own IPs as much as they perhaps should. But the Harry Potter stuff, you can't deny, is something that can rival anything that Disney does. So yeah, I was super looking forward to that. But now I've seen one of the rides in Dark Universe. It's very similar technology to the Hogwarts ride. It's a Forbidden Journey. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. So yeah, it's Dark Universe has got me hooked now.
Yeah, I'm looking
excited.
forward to Nintendo, but I think Dark Universe is gonna win. I don't know.
Yeah, Kim's looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon. She's really excited by that. So yeah.
The ride
I
looks really
watched
good.
that movie.
It's a good movie.
Have you never seen it, Ash?
I've never seen it.
I have, but a long time ago. When
Is it good? I mean, I heard it was good, but
I enjoyed it. I watched it with Hey John, how you doing? Yeah, I watched it with my daughter a long time ago. It's been a long time that since I've watched it, but maybe I'll have to give it another go. But yeah, it was good. It was good.
yeah, I do like those like Vikings and dragons. I do like that. So
Yeah. What's not to like?
exactly.
So, yeah.
So that alone, I'm like, okay, I'm fine. I'm good with this.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was there a question about the windmill? Hold on, let me go back. Let's see. How old is the windmill? From, I don't know. I mean, the movie was from 1931, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how old the windmill was. I'm sorry, Matthew. Let's see. Ooh, really? I know someone who worked in Epic. They said the Ministry of Magic is going to be mind-blowing. So excited.
That's what I'm excited about.
I feel like it's going to be very immersive.
Yeah. I think that's why they're waiting for that to be like their last announcement.
Yes. And we were talking before about how the Dark Universe was announced, but we didn't get another IP, which was one of the IPs that is basically kind of been confirmed a little bit that they're going to have a Universal Monsters house, but
well, I feel like every year they have a Universal Monsters house, and then I really thought the house was going to have this Victoria Frankenstein in it because the rumor is it's going to be like a lady, like Universal Monsters house. So I'm like, oh, that'd be really cool to tease Epic Universe by having this character already in this house. So that's why I was really shocked that they didn't announce that because to me that seems like the perfect fitting of like, here's a real sneak peek of Halloween Horror Nights, like Epic Universe, come to Halloween Horror Nights and see this.
true. It would have been a good marketing kind of thing to do, but maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, do you think they're gonna announce another house next week? Like I mean, it's almost they gotta like for the season tickets they gotta really announce that soon, right? I'm assuming.
To sell them, right? They haven't released the frequent fear pass, which that's what I'm waiting out for.
Yeah.
I bought the frequent fear pass last year and I think it's really worth it. If you're a local and you're going a lot, get the frequent fear pass. But they haven't released them yet, but I don't know. I don't know what they're really waiting for, but yeah, just one IP house so far. And I don't think we got through all the original houses. So
No.
so
Wait, actually, Adam, have you been to Halloween Horror Nights?
I've not been to Halloween Horror Nights
Okay.
before. This is usually when I've been to Orlando. It's either when I was a kid or when I've taken my daughter. So like so it's one of those things that this time, because it's just going to be me and Kim, we're absolutely going.
Oh,
So
so you're
yeah,
going to Halloween Horror Nights this year?
yeah. I need to buy some tickets, but yeah, we've already been
Very nice.
discussing which dates to go on and stuff like that. So yeah,
nice.
yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've always looked at the vlogs of people that go over the last few years, or just looked at the the adverts for it and stuff while I've been out there. If I've been out around the time that Halloween Horror Nights is on, and I've always looked at it and thought, yeah, I really want to do this. It looks amazing. So I'm looking forward to that more than Mickey's Not So Scary over at Disney, I think. So yeah, absolutely, very much looking forward to doing Halloween Horror Nights.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. But I think, let's see, we just have 3 more houses. So the museum deadly exhibit is the next original house. I feel like people don't really know, like the description that they had for this house is confusing people. So apparently it's a folklore museum and they come alive.
I mean, the concept
Thoughts?
of it, I'm excited for. Like, if it's like going to be like a nightmare museum type house. Um,
Yeah,
but
so
yeah, they
the
didn't really give much for it, so I'm just kind of curious of like what's actually going to be in this house.
Yeah, so the museum exhibits are coming alive at a folklore. So maybe we're gonna have some really cool monsters that are gonna come alive in the museum. It'll
It
be
sounds like,
maybe it'll be really immersive where you actually feel like you are in a museum and you
yeah. I
see
mean,
the exhibits kind of like coming at you.
I'm still excited for it, but it does kind of remind me of like a Universal Monsters house in general. Like
That's true.
the mummy's coming out, like that's kind of
Yeah,
so.
yeah, it's true.
I'm curious of how they're gonna do it, but the idea of it is like has me, I'm excited to see what's gonna be like.
Yeah. And then talking about monsters, the second one is actually coming from Hollywood. Last year they had Monsters, the Monsters of Latin America is coming to Orlando this year. And I know that that was a favorite house for a lot of people out in Hollywood. So it'll be cool to see. Maybe they'll change it, have different monsters in it, or maybe it'll be exactly the same. But I know a lot of people enjoyed that over in Hollywood. So
The videos online of it did look really good, so I hope it's just as good what we get this year.
yeah. So, and then the last one is the one I think is being talked about the most, and not in a good way. It's called Triplets of Terror, and people have ripped this one apart. I
Well,
feel like
photo that
what
they showed us for this is very interesting, to say the least. Anyone who has not seen it, it looks like someone just kind of threw it together last minute and was like, "Yep, this is a house."
Oh no.
yeah. So it's the triplets are it's their birthday or something, and it's just like the picture that they show is just kind of these 3 almost. I think people were comparing it to The Strangers. If you guys have seen
Yeah,
that movie, kind of
Yep.
stranger-esque with like masks on, these people with masks, and it's their birthday party, and they celebrate it by doing crazy things.
I mean, I
So
think the concept of it is like a mixture of it looks like strangers, and it kind of sounds like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where they're gonna just murder you when you come into this house. Um,
yeah.
Whether that's gonna be a great house or not, I guess it's soon we'll find out. But I mean, to be fair, I guess like I'm kind of more intrigued by that one because I'm just kind of curious of what they're actually gonna do with it because it's their original story. They could do whatever they want in this house, and it's not like it's where like a museum is like, okay, there's like only so much stuff you can probably do in a museum, or like Goblin Fest, or like fairies, or like goblins, that type of thing. But Triplets Terror, I guess we'll find out what they're gonna throw in that house.
I know, watch. It's going to be the best house ever. Everybody's going to be raving about it.
I mean, I am kind of curious though, like right now, what's actually going to make the most popular houses, because I feel like last year the IPs were like a lot like better, and like I think that kind of threw more people to want to come to Halloween Horror Nights last year, especially with Last of Us and Stranger Things. And we didn't really talk about it yet, but I don't think A Quiet Place is really that popular, I guess. I don't see that many people like running to the theme park to go see A Quiet Place.
Yeah, the one IP they've announced is A Quiet Place. I had never watched it before, even though I was interested in watching it. I just never did it. And I know Ash, we both just recently watched it.
Yeah.
Adam, have you ever seen A Quiet Place?
Yes, I have. I love A Quiet Place as a movie. And so yeah, like when we were discussing this, I think last week, weren't we, Pam? Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this. How they're going to make this, because obviously, like I say, all the houses I've ever seen on vlogs of people that have gone to Halloween Horror Nights, they're always full of music and noises and things set to scare people as they go in and as they're going through the houses. Whereas A Quiet Place is completely the opposite. I mean, I remember watching the movie in the cinema, and it was one of those movies. I was telling you about this, Pam, last week, wasn't I? It was one of those movies where, I'd go to the cinema regularly, and I would always get my popcorn and my drink, and I'd sit there, and the movie would start, and you'd kind of be like, with popcorn, and I remember putting popcorn in my mouth, and it was silence, and I remember sort of biting down, and I was like, oh, I'm making too much noise, and you could see the entire cinema sort of stop and be like, oh, put their popcorn down, because this was a completely different experience to anything anyone was used to. That was just in the theatre for the movie itself. So now transporting that into a house, I think is really, really exciting. I'm actually really looking forward to that and seeing what they're going to do. I think I know I've seen a teaser for the next Quiet Place movie installment as well. So I think it might build. They might simultaneously build a bit of hype up for each other. As the trailers drop for the new movie, that might make people go to Halloween Horror Nights more excited about the house, and similarly, anyone that gets to experience that house might be more excited for the movie coming out and things. So yeah, I think it's super exciting, and one I really can't wait to see how Universal are going to do it.
I do think it's interesting though that they said they're not like The Quiet Place 3 is not going to be in the house this year.
Okay,
because
but yeah.
It looks like Quiet Place, the new one, takes place like in New York.
Yeah, that's right. I think the new one is a prequel. So
that concept alone, I mean, obviously we haven't seen the movie yet, but that has me more excited, because I really like when they do like New York City, like Halloween Horror Nights set pieces. One year they had like a train, and like that was cool to like walk through and see that. So, but yeah, I'm just curious how they're gonna pull this off, because obviously you're supposed to be quiet in the house. And obviously, everyone going through is gonna be screaming. So I wonder how they're, like, how the scares are gonna be, I guess, and how they're gonna is it gonna be more story based?
I think it adds to a lot of intrigue, doesn't it? And similarly to what you guys were just talking about the Triplets of Terror as well. This one, A Quiet Place, it's going to add so much intrigue, because we know what the movie is. How are they going to transport this into a house? Into a house where lots of people are going in and kind of giddy and having a great time, and how eerily quiet is it going to be? What's going to happen if anyone makes a noise? It's there's so many questions about it, which adds a lot of intrigue, and I think that's what makes that one so exciting. And like I say, and that's kind of how I felt about the Triplets of Terror one as well. Is exactly what you were saying, Ash, about a museum. It's got only so many expectations, whereas this is a party going into someone's house. It just leaves so many unanswered questions that it can kind of go anywhere, and it's really exciting to see how it's going to go.
Yeah, movie meeting Nick says people will probably hear the aliens screeching. That's it. I'm curious. At first, I thought, before I even saw the movie, I recently just saw the movie. I thought maybe they would have that like almost white noise that you hear when it's totally silent, that like almost like buzzing noise. But
Yeah,
they didn't have that in the movie. Like you mentioned before, Adam, the whole like first 15 minutes is complete silence. Complete silence. So it'll be interesting to see what they do to kind of keep that quiet and that whole atmosphere of the movie, because that's the whole thing, is these creatures, which we don't really know like where they came from in that first movie. You kind of figure out a little bit watching the second movie about where these creatures kind of came from, but the whole premise is that you can't talk, you can't make noise, so it'll be
yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Is there
That
any
first bit.
scene? Oh, sorry.
No, no, no. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, is there any scene from the movie that you actually want to see in the house that you hope like gets put into the house?
Good question. Um, I suppose. I mean, a lot of the first, certainly the first movie, a lot of that takes place on the kind of farm that they're living on now. You know, and obviously it'd be interesting if they kind of almost recreated it like the house that they're living in. You know, when is it when she steps on a nail or something like that, and she kind of makes the noise, they hear it, all the lights go. They have that light system, don't they, to kind of know when there's danger or not, the red lights or the, you know. So it'd be interesting if they had that kind of light system, and you oh, okay, I've got to be quiet because there's yeah, there's going to be there's some sort of danger lurking, and it's because I love the bit where she's having to hide in the bath, and those things are actually going around the house exploring it. So I wonder if they kind of maybe recreate something along those lines.
Yeah, definitely the farm. And then maybe, I guess, the opening scene would be that from the first movie of them kind of
Yeah.
sneaking through trying to get like supplies from the store.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
it'll be
I'm
it'll
sure
be
that like
interesting.
little airplane is it or a spaceship like that's gonna be one of the houses.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll probably be an Easter egg. People would have to
Yeah,
search for
like
that.
that has to be somewhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. But I enjoyed the first movie. I actually really enjoyed the second movie. That first whole like maybe 20-25 minutes of the movie is where you get that day one where you kind of start in the middle of everything that's kind of happening, that has happened with these creatures attacking people. And you don't really understand where they came from. In the second movie, you kind of get a little bit of a hint on what happened that first day. And I really actually really enjoyed it. When it ended, I was actually kind of sad because I wanted more of that story. So I'm excited for the third movie now, where you're going to get, even though it's a different perspective, it's still that first day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
movie comes
Absolutely.
out next week, right?
Yeah, next Friday or Thursday, I guess.
Yeah. So next week,
Nice.
the third Quiet Place. I actually didn't even realize that there was a second Quiet Place until I'm like, I need to watch that movie because I have been wanting to watch it. And I'm like, they made a second one? Oh my gosh. Which
I
is,
didn't
if you have Hulu, it's available on Hulu, the second one.
I didn't realize that actor was in the second one. That wasn't Oppenheimer, right?
That was,
Who
I
was that?
think,
Sorry.
The actor that's in the second one, like oh my god, what's his name? The
Yours is a good
oh, you
question.
mean
Let's have a look.
the main character from the second one?
yeah.
The guy? I don't know.
Killian Murphy. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Killian Murphy is in The Quiet Place too. Yeah. He's the guy that
I
played
didn't realize.
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
he's in this. That's like,
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, Emily Blunt's in it. She
mm-hmm.
was great.
Also in
Jim from The
Oppenheimer.
Office. Oh, was she in Oppenheimer? I need to watch that still.
That was a good movie.
Hey, Thomas.
I will say though, one year I think was like the Haunting of Hill House. They had at Halloween Horror Nights, and one of the rooms that was like the most like terrifying room I think I ever went through in Halloween Horror Nights overall. It was just darkness. Like you couldn't see anything at all. and like you didn't even know where to go. Like I was confused on which angle, which way to like go through. I literally pulled my brother's shirt because I was like, dude, I like if you go too far, I can't see where I'm going. Like I don't know where anything is. So
Oh
if they
no.
could do like that type of element in the Quiet Place house, like that actually could be very terrifying.
Oh no.
That
Oh
would be
my
cool.
god. That's my worst nightmare. Hey Thomas. What I guess we'll talk about that. What was the scariest house you've ever been to at any Halloween Horror Nights, Ash? Was that the scariest?
I mean, overall it wasn't the scariest, but just that like section of the room was just really terrifying. For me, it gets really like the only thing that really scares me in the houses is like when I don't know my sense of direction, like where I'm going to. The only other time where like that fear kind of came in was the Halloween house, that I went to like recently. That we were following the guy in front of us, and he went the wrong way, so he ended up going like backstage,
Oh no.
where like all the scare actors are at, and like obviously like and, you know they're very strict with their scare actor rules and stuff, and I'm like, I'm so sorry, I just follow this man, I don't know where I'm going, I'm not trying to go backstage. Like which way do I go? So any
Sometimes
of
it
the
can be
houses that
confusing.
have like that fear to it, I'm like, I just want to know where I'm going, like please tell me which direction. Like that's the part that gives me the most fear in the houses, of like just pure terror of like where which way, oh that way, okay thanks.
You know what's funny is people are going to laugh at me. The scariest house that I went in last year was Chucky. I don't know why. It just gave me that sick feeling in my
Yeah.
stomach. And I've never seen any of the Chucky movies or anything, but that house scared me so bad.
Well,
But
you
my
also don't like Chucky to begin with,
don't
so
like Chucky. I don't like. He kind of looks like a clown. I don't like clowns.
yeah.
So maybe that's why. And we're at 90 likes. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Hit that like button. Let's get to 100. We've only been live for an hour, and we still have so much to talk about. But we got through all of the 6 original houses, the 1 IP. Should we go over some rumors now? We kind of mentioned them a little bit before of what houses that could be coming to Orlando. So we mentioned before the Universal monsters, and this year they're thinking that it's going to be an all-female house. What do you guys think about that?
That would be cool.
I mean, I'm excited. I like the Bride of Frankenstein house they had a couple years ago. So,
Ooh, was it just a Bride of Frankenstein? That's
it
it?
was. They had like Easter eggs for like other monsters in it, but it mostly was just a Bride of Frankenstein house.
Ooh, nice.
I don't actually remember like what the plot line of it was, but I do remember like I enjoyed it. The person that was I think behind me in line kept screaming like the whole entire time we were in the house. So I just kept laughing because like out of nowhere I would hear her scream, and then she would scare me because I didn't know why she was screaming. So I think when I left the house, I like thanked her. I was like, "You actually scared me this whole house."
No, I do not like Chucky, Nathan. What are you talking about? Not at all. Oh, see, Tim thought Chucky was hilarious. I laughed all through the house.
I mean, you made it through the house when I went with you. You were fine.
I know Ash was with me.
Yeah.
Um, I did make it through. I remember there was one part where you thought the house ended, and it really just was kind of like a breezeway to get to
Oh
the
yeah,
other
you go
part of the house, and
outside.
I was like, "Oh, it's over," and you're like, "Nope, it's not over."
It's like, and there's more.
There's more, Pam. Good for you. Zanelax, is that you? You're on your other account, Zanelax. What do you mean? What do you mean the scariest house you've ever heard? All female.
But yeah, I'm still with the idea. I want it to be Victoria Frankenstein. I hope that is part of the house.
Probably. Hopefully, since it's part of the Dark Universe and that whole storyline, I'm sure they're gonna incorporate it somehow. So it'll be cool.
Yeah. So that's
I think
what I want to see in the house.
yeah, I think they're missing a huge open goal if they don't, do something like that. I know you guys were touching on that earlier. Now that they've just dropped everything about Dark Universe, ready for Epic Universe, it would be a huge marketing ploy. So if they incorporated a lot of the Universal Monsters things, whether it was just the females or whether it was anything all encompassing the Universal Monsters, I think it's a no brainer. They absolutely should do that into one of the houses.
Yeah. Ooh, Tim says I want them to do an Alien House, especially with the new movie coming out. I
That
don't
would be
think
cool.
that'd be cool. I don't think they're gonna do that this year, but that'd be awesome. What movie would you want them to do, Ash? What movie would you want to like, or any like kind of IP, like horror IP? You
Well,
could have
okay.
anything.
So I really wanted Five Nights at Freddy's, but if I had an actual choice, I want Willy's Wonderland, the Nicolas Cage movie.
What is that?
Have you
I've
never
never even
seen?
heard of it.
Like you have to watch the Nicolas Cage like Willy Wonderland movie. It's basically Five Nights at Freddy's, but it's Nicolas Cage is in it. He doesn't talk at all throughout the whole entire movie, but he's
That's
just doing like action scenes, and it's if that could be a house, I'd be really excited for. Or I really want a Fallout house.
okay.
Oh, did you say fog?
What?
Hmm?
What did you say? You wanted a what house? Sorry.
Fallout?
Oh, Fallout. Sorry.
Wow.
I thought you said the fog. I was like, wow,
Oh, the
that's a brave
fog.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be terrifying.
Adam, what IP would you want if you could pick
Um,
any of them?
if I could pick any of them, I mean, I'm not sure actually. I know. Obviously, Halloween itself is one of Universal's biggest horror IPs, and I know they've done that before. So I'm just trying to think of Universal IPs, other Universal IPs that of horrors specifically. And obviously, the only ones I can think of are ones that would be part of the Universal Monsters sort of stuff, such as the Mummy or Dracula or Phantom of the Opera and things like that. So um, I would love to see them somehow do, and I don't know how they would do it, but I think one of my favorite, and you almost don't think of it as a horror movie, but Jaws is surely a real, like, the idea of just being in the ocean, going to the beach or whatever, and a shark coming at you is obviously terrifying, and it's terrifying because it's something that we understand. We understand that these creatures are there swimming around the shorelines, and it's conceivably very, very real. As opposed to a monster that like our logic says, oh, they don't exist. It's fine. But actually, sharks do exist, and Jaws is terrifying because of that. Those are the horrors that get to me most. Is when it's something that's real and tangible. So yeah, I don't know how they would do it, but if they ever managed to do something like that, I would love to see some sort of Jaws house. But like I say, unless they're going to put you in on a dinghy or something and you're floating around it's full of water and you can't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure how they do it, but yeah.
That'd be cool. Well, we're gonna see some Jaws at the new parade that they're premiering. I think it's on July 3rd. I think Jaws is gonna be in the parade, so at
Yeah.
least we'll get some Jaws there. But that would be cool. I do agree that like kind of that real life scenario is more scary than just kind of like a monster. So I agree. I actually liked some people were mentioning Nightmare on Elm Street would be good.
Oh,
I know
Scream's
that
also
wasn't
good.
that a rumor this year?
That was.
Nightmare,
But it's my
right?
favourite horror franchise of all time. Nightmare on Elm Street is my favourite horror franchise of all time. I know it's obviously not a Universal IP, but I would, yeah, I would love to see a house like that.
That would be great. Gremlins would be hysterical. I feel like I would love Gremlins.
Yeah, that would be really good.
Gremlins would be great. Yeah.
Yeah, Mom
Also,
agrees.
someone for the
Gremlins.
Scream house. I would take Scream too.
Ooh, Scream.
Yeah. Give me
I
Ghost.
remember. I remember watching Scream, like trying to watch Scream when I was like younger, like a teenager, and I almost had like a heart attack. It was like a TV version movie too. Like it wasn't even like the actual movie with everything, and I almost had a heart attack. And I just recently watched it, maybe like 2 years ago. I watched Scream, and it's a good movie.
I love the Scream franchise,
Yeah,
especially the first two movies. The first two movies, I always loved both of those because the first one, obviously, it was a new kind of, slasher movie where you're trying to guess who it is and figure it out. And then the second one, the fact that it was so copycat, yet it still left you guessing was superb. And then obviously the third one was where they started to change it up a bit. So, but yeah, as a franchise, Scream is great. I love that.
Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, they may do a Megan house. They sure were popular dancing last year. Yeah, remember the Megan horde that happened last year? I don't think I ever saw them
Oh, you didn't?
last year. No, I don't think I ever like ran
I
into.
do have a photo with the Megans.
Do you really?
Yeah, I got my photo
Nice.
with them.
That's
Um,
pretty cool.
it
Yeah,
was.
maybe
I still want the chainsaws to come back though, so I'm so sorry, but I would prefer that over the Megans. But I like the chainsaws.
the chainsaw horde.
Yeah, but the
Oh
That
yeah,
Megans.
seems to be something that scares people. You know, when they're walking through the scare zones rather than the houses, the chainsaws is something that when you watch people's vlogs and things, they're the things that make people jump and scream. Like, you know, when someone suddenly runs at them with a chainsaw. So yeah,
That's also like my other favorite thing to people watch. Wherever the chainsaws like stuff are at, like you just wait on the sidelines and you see them get people because they're like usually they hide in the Simpsons section. Like they'll hide behind the walls and then just scare
yeah,
people walking by. Like
nice.
that's like my fun stuff where I'm like, all right, like I did the houses, they're too busy, can't get food. I'm like, I'm just gonna watch people get scared, and those are like the good places that were fun to watch.
That sounds good. Stephen, there saying Alfred Hitchcock based houses as well. I mean, I remember when Universal used to have the Alfred Hitchcock section. You know, so yeah, the birds. What a terrifying idea that is. And again, something real. You know, birds. We see them every day flying around, but it's when you open the curtains and if there's a mass of them suddenly outside the window, like you know, like you see in that movie, something like that would be great. I think the birds would be a very cool idea.
There's just so many options. It's just like so hard though what their actual IPs that they can get.
Yeah.
Oh, someone wrote
Um,
Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. That's still I wish they could have like redid the ride and did like a Treehouse of Horror for Halloween Horror Nights. That's what I really would have loved to see.
hmm.
That'd be cool.
Mom says, Pan, you are echoing a little. I think she meant Pam. Am I echoing? Oh no. I'm sorry. It's probably on my end. Sorry,
Uh,
guys.
so
We'll figure it out. Yeah, it's weird how they had the IP for that. So I feel like it would be easy for them. Maybe with the like costumes they would have to make for a Simpsons treehouse.
I would have been so excited. I love like Treehouse of Horror. That's like my favorite like Simpson types episodes. So I would have sat there waited in line to see Bart dress up as a devil, like Marge is like a witch. I would have just waited there for like hours. But my dream always was just like that because I think the ride's open, or at least I don't know. Actually, is the Simpsons ride open? It is open,
I
right?
think
During Halloween
so.
Horror Nights?
I think
Like
so.
they easily could have just put on a new film, make it Treehouse of Horror related. It would have been so good. They didn't even need to do a house. They could have just redid that type of ride,
Yeah.
but now Disney like basically owns it, so that's never gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. Ooh, how about ugh, I can't watch those movies. See, those are the type of the Saw movies I've never been able to watch because again, like Adam said, it's too realistic. That could happen.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost it's psychological horror saw, isn't it? Because it's you very much could imagine yourself being trapped in that scenario and having to make a very difficult choice, and it's so gruesome as well. You know each each kind of game that he plays, you know, with his victims, it gets more and more elaborate. I think so. Yeah, and the fact that someone can think them up for a movie, and that but it's all very much human interaction in Saw. Then you know it's yeah, like you say, it becomes very real very quickly in your head. So yeah, that it's they can be a challenging watch. So but yeah, a Saw house, I think, would be very interesting. Yeah,
Ooh, Jurassic Park that would be really cool if they did
yeah,
Jurassic Park house. Yeah, wasn't that another rumor? Five Nights at Freddy's.
It was a rumor. They haven't done it yet. Apparently, it's going to go to Vegas at the moment. That's what the rumor is.
Oh, okay. Is that
Um,
new, like, it's not a park, but it's like an experience? Isn't that the
yeah,
Vegas one?
I think it's called Horrors Unleashed, and it's supposed to be like a year-long like Halloween Horror Nights. But apparently, the rumor is that like the Five Nights at Freddy's house may go there. Again, I'm not sure why they can't just put it in Orlando. Again, tease it.
Yeah.
People will still go to Vegas, so I don't understand if that's actually true or not. But well, I guess we didn't
Yeah.
talk about it yet. But I still prefer Five Nights at Freddy's house over Insidious. I didn't see Insidious, but at the moment in time, I would still prefer Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, I just recently watched Five Nights at Freddy's. I haven't played the video games. I've seen people play the video games before, and I actually read they have like books, like uh YA books
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's. I've actually read one of them
Oh,
before,
did you?
and I know the whole like backstory of Five
Mm-hmm.
Nights at Freddy's, which is it's deep. It's a deep story. It's not like, you think like, oh, it's puppets and it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese type kind of scenario, but it's a deep story. And the movie was pretty good. I mean, it's different. It's not um, it's a deep story, so that's all I
Yeah.
can say. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but Five Nights at Freddy's would have been awesome. I think the
Mm-hmm.
costumes and just the atmosphere itself would have been really fun. It would have been a fun house to for
Also,
them
like
to
the
do.
food they could have done would have been fun, like pizza, like all that type of stuff would have been like really like they could have done like really good like food booths, like that would have been really cool to um have.
Yeah, that would have been cool. Well, Mr. Disney King, how are you? Says Chucky, Insidious, and Chainsaw Massacre are highly rumored for Halloween Horror Nights. Hollywood IPs.
Well,
Why
I
can't
will
they?
say the Chucky house that we got last year wasn't that great, but the Hollywood one last year looked amazing. Um, the Chainsaw Massacre, I have been to the one in Orlando, and I love that house. I actually had like a lot of fun going through that house. I still haven't seen Insidious, so once I see the movie, maybe I'll have a different opinion. But
I've seen Insidious. I feel like it would be a difficult house to have kind of, well, I mean, there's jump scares in Insidious, but I don't know. I feel like the whole story of Insidious is another one of those like deep stories, and it would be. I feel like it would be a really scary house, Insidious,
do you think
but
it's gonna follow like the first movie, or you think because it was like six movies, there's like or
I feel like it would have to follow the first movie. I
okay,
think that's where you really get a lot of the backstory for the characters
mm-hmm.
and the kind of like the bad guys or the villains themselves. But yeah, I think an Insidious house would be good, but we'll see. I don't know. Were there any other? I don't know if there were any other rumors. I know Ghostbusters was another rumor for the IPs, and I really hope that they don't do the new movies because I just recently watched both of them. I watched Frozen. What was it? Frozen.
Is it no? Is it Empire?
Oh my gosh, why can't I think of it? Was Frozen something and then Afterlife. It
Afterlife's
they
the first one, right?
Afterlife was the first, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I did see.
Then was it, I keep wanting to say Frozen Kingdom, but that's not it.
I want to say
But
Frozen Empire, but I don't know if that's it.
is it Frozen Empire?
I don't. Is it?
Okay,
It's Frozen Empire. Yeah.
it's
Yes.
Frozen
Got it right.
Empire. Nice, Ash. But I didn't like them. They didn't keep my attention at all.
Oh,
I sat down to watch them, and I was like, "Oh," it was kind of fading off, going onto my phone, and oh, what's going on YouTube? And they just didn't keep my attention at all. But did you guys watch the new Ghostbusters at all?
I only seen Afterlife. I haven't seen the second one, so I'm not sure about the second one.
Wouldn't
Likewise.
Yeah.
Likewise, I've only seen Afterlife so far. Yeah.
Did you
I
guys
didn't mind the first one. Um,
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
yeah. I don't. I'm trying to think if there's like any like scenes or anything that I'd be like, oh yeah, I really want to see that in the the house. But I'm
I
not.
mean, it was cool when the original Ghostbusters like came back and kind
Yeah.
of saved the day. That was kind of cool. Spoiler alert, sorry. Um, but I mean, it's been out for a while. But that was cool. But I don't know. I just didn't. It just didn't keep my attention. I didn't hate it, but just didn't keep my attention at all.
Yeah, I mean, I would still prefer an original Ghostbuster house. Or I guess if we tie both together, but again, I'm not. Again, there's also another one. I don't get why it also wasn't announced yet, this house. I don't know why they're waiting
I don't
so
know.
long.
I don't know why. I feel like they've been kind of hinting it with the tribute store. There's so much Ghostbuster merch and decorations and everything. Like pretty much the whole tribute store is
Well, I
Ghostbusters.
think that's. I mean,
Oh well.
again, I guess like the tribute store is also more '80s themes, but again, that's why you would think it's more the original Ghostbusters because that's kind of what they've been advertising every year, especially with the new parade and the Lagoon show. So I don't. I mean, hopefully it's a good house. They pull it off, but again, I don't really remember anything like. I mean, not that anything super scary in the original Ghostbusters, but it's just like so much better.
It's the
I
iconic
think,
scenes. Yeah.
yeah, I think the original Ghostbusters, even though it had comic actors, because Dan Aykroyd can obviously do comedy, and Bill Murray could obviously do comedy. However, the original Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2, that although they were kind of crazy with, like, Slimer, for example, or the purple sort of the purple ooze that ran through New York in the second one, and the painting and everything like that. They were kind of, like you say, they weren't too terrifying, but it was terrifying enough in a family friendly entertainment setting. Whereas I think Paul Rudd just makes the new installment just too comical instantly, because that's we all know Paul Rudd, and like I say, yeah, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray could absolutely do comedy with the best of them, but I think it just gives the current version of Ghostbusters, that as in the newer movies, more of a comedy element than the original ones had. Whether that's intentional or not, I don't know. But yeah, I certainly I would want it to be more like the original Ghostbusters, I think so.
Yeah, there's just so many iconic scenes in the original one that
Yeah.
they could, do. And they have done a Ghostbusters house
Recently,
before,
actually, I
right?
think maybe 2019 there was a
Was it
Ghostbusters house.
2019? Yeah.
Um, yeah, so
So,
not too long ago they had one, and it looked good. I mean, I also watched the videos for that one too, but
yeah, another Beetlejuice house would be cool. I'm sad
yeah,
that I missed that house. Did you
that was
get
a
to
fun house. I did go to that one.
You did? What did you think about it?
I mean, I enjoyed it because I watched the Beetlejuice and like it had the music going in the house, so I was like really excited. I know like not that many people are fan of it because again, like Beetlejuice is more like the funnier houses, I guess. Not like as serious like horror or anything like that. But I enjoyed it because I watched the movie. I'm a fan of the movie, so I am excited though for the new movie.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Adam, did you see I'm sure you have the new Beetlejuice trailer for the new
Yes,
movie?
yeah, I saw the trailer. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, it's such a great movie, and Michael Keaton just absolutely nailed it again straight away in the trailer. So yeah, absolutely, that one got me in the feels. I'm really looking forward to seeing it when it comes out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't go to a whole lot of movies in the movie theater, and I think that is one movie that I'm gonna go see. And I think I'm gonna go see the new Quiet Place since that is a IP house this year. I think I'm gonna go see the third one in the movie
I do
theater,
think
which
I
is
actually want to see
rare.
like the storyline of A Quiet Place is actually really good, so I would want to go see that in the theaters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
likewise. It's been such a long time. So I used to, before the pandemic, I would go to the cinema almost every week. Sometimes multiple times a week, because our local movie theater, I pay for their sort of monthly subscription thing where you basically pay £18 a month, and you can go as many times as you like. As many times as you like in a day, as many movies as you can get in, and as many times as you like in a week, as many times as you like in the month, and throughout the year, essentially. So yeah, I used to go all the time, and then obviously post-pandemic, it just kind of shifted a bit, where people weren't really going to the theaters and stuff. And then as everything came back to normal, I think life just got busier, and so I don't tend to go as often as I would like. But there are movies that I just can't wait for their releases, if that for their releases onto other platforms, onto streaming and DVDs and things like that. So yeah, there's definitely A Quiet Place 2 and Beetlejuice are ones that I'm going to have to go to the cinema for again, and it's been a while since I've been to one. So yeah.
Yeah, I think the last movie that I went to in the theater was the Mario Brother movie. I think it was
Mine
that
was
one.
Haunted Mansion.
Was it really? But I used to go to the theater too all the time, like you said, Adam. But I don't know. I just feel like I just haven't wanted to go see a movie in the theater in a while. But I think I'm gonna go see those two in the theater. So I'm excited. Ooh, see, Tim says he's gonna go see Beetlejuice opening night and then head right straight to Halloween Horror
That sounds like
Nights.
a good night.
It does sound like a good night. It's a long night, but it's a good night.
Also,
So-
I mean, not that it was announced yet or anything, but with the shows, do you think like somehow Universal could do like a surprise Lagoon show now that it's back on?
Maybe. I mean, they do have everything there now. But have they done anything in the past during Halloween Horror Nights?
They
on
used to have a
Lagoon?
Lagoon show, and then one of the hurricanes took it down. Like,
Okay.
so it hasn't been back since then. But I wonder, because I think I read that the new show ends like at some point during the summertime. So
August
I wonder.
25th.
Yeah.
August 25th, the day before we fly out.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I wonder if they can switch it over to Halloween Horror Nights.
I hope so. I hope they can do something because, I think Universal have got two things going on, and both of them end on, or three things going on, and two of them end on August 25th. And we were looking at it like, really?
Yeah. Because
So,
they
yeah.
definitely need like shows. Like they definitely need like to control the crowds. Because last year the house times were just an insane wait. So they really should have like a Lagoon show come back because Nightmare View doesn't like have absorb like I mean they absorb people. I mean a lot of people are also watching those shows too, but they really need like at least two shows going on for crowd control.
Oh, see, Tim. The HHN Lagoon show is great. I hope they do it again. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's a good possibility that it's going to come back. So
I mean, because they don't have to do fireworks; they could just do like the lights, the water.
true, very true. That's cool. So was it just like a one-time thing? Like they just showed it once at like
No,
the
they
end
had like
of
I think
Halloween
a couple
Horror
of times where the show went off.
Nights? Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Interesting. Hopefully they do bring it back. Have they announced any of the shows? Like, have they announced Nightmare Fuel's coming back?
I don't know if they did. I definitely follow people from Nightmare Fuel, but I don't know if they also said that the show is definitely coming back or not. I'm not sure.
Because I haven't heard anything. Yeah,
I mean,
I
they
haven't heard anything.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything either. I mean, I'm sure at least a show is coming back, so I don't know. But I wonder because again, the Lagoon show is ending. I get that like, the hours usually end by the end of August, but it's close enough to Halloween Horror Nights. Kind of strange ending before it starts.
It's convenient, right? Very convenient that it just
Starting my
ends
own
right
rumor.
there.
Give us a show.
Oh, and also, I know Halloween Horror Nights is starting early this year, but they do have something new that is still available. Adam, we talked about this the last stream. We were on the last foam stream that they have what is it called? Hold on. I think it's a premium Halloween Horror Nights. It's $350. It's the day before Halloween Horror Nights starts on the 29th. And there's still tickets available, Adam. Are you shocked that there's still tickets available?
Yeah, no. No, I'm not shocked at all. Yeah, it's a bit steep, isn't it? You know, $350 to basically have a Halloween Horror Nights preview the night before, or just put that $350 in your back pocket and just go the next night when everyone's going to go. And yeah, I don't see many people jumping at that. Like because if there's two of you, then that suddenly becomes $700. If I shudder to think of the costs if you're trying to organise it for a group of people, but it's ludicrous. I know like some people like to do the VIP thing, but this isn't even the VIP thing to my understanding. This is just very much hey, get in one night early. No, I'll save that money, thanks. I'll just go on the night when everyone's going and have a great time. But I don't know. I know we were talking about it, like you say, Pam, on the last stream, and it piqued my interest until you said the price, and I was kind of like, yeah, no, there's other things I'd rather spend my money on, and I'll just go and have the normal experience like everyone else. So yeah.
Yes, I feel like that's kind of what they're doing. It's like, oh, well, you get a preview of Halloween Horror Nights, don't you? You want the first, view of the houses and everything. But you can't like film the houses or anything. I almost feel like they're just trying to be like, you get a preview of it, but you might as well just do the RIP tours. They're just as expensive, and you get a private tour. You get to go into all the houses guaranteed. And like, I don't think they even guaranteed you all the houses in this preview. So, and then they mentioned something about select snacks, but it doesn't sound like the nice hors d'oeuvres or cocktails that you get during the RIP tour. So, yeah. But yeah, they're still available if you want them, guys. $350.
Well, last year they did the food like sneak peek, which also was very expensive. So it's interesting that this year they decided to do it kind of sounds like they're trying to do like an Orlando Informer night for Halloween Horror Nights, but I feel like it might have done better if it was like on a Monday and a Tuesday when like Halloween Horror Nights don't actually happen, and then you have like one of those days, this limited time event, like less crowds, whatever. But again, I don't know. To me, it just seems like a waste of money. You might as well just go the next day. Also, if a lot of like usually they use like the team member preview to test scares and like how everything runs. So you're basically also now the test group for Halloween Horror Nights, and you're paying $350.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no.
How many YouTubers do you think are gonna go pay the $350?
All the YouTubers that don't have early access to begin with, yes. All the small that's what, honestly, like if you want my honest opinion, that's what they're trying to do, is get all the smaller YouTubes that don't have the access to Universal to go to this preview.
Yeah.
but yeah, that's just my opinion. But yeah, all the 5,000 YouTubers, exactly, TD. I know, Mr. Disney King, Ash, you mentioned the food previews. They canceled a lot of them because of lack of sales. I think they even lowered the cost.
I forgot how much it was, but it also was kind of a ridiculous price for whatever it was for, I think.
Yes. But so yeah, they're still available, guys, if you want those tickets. And again, I think they have everything available. You can buy Halloween Horror Nights like one-day tickets right now. They just don't have the Frequent Fear Pass. They did have the Frequent Fear Pass available at Hollywood now, but not yet at Orlando. So hopefully that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the Frequent Fear Pass to come out so I can purchase that, because I'm definitely doing that this year.
Though that they announced that they're going to have like themed lobbies for some of the Universal hotels?
Yes. Didn't they do that last year, Ash?
They usually do like photo opportunities. So last year, they had like in each Universal hotel, like a Universal monster you could like take a photo with. And then usually at Cabana Bay, they have like, if you're staying at a Universal hotel, they have like an experience. So last year was Chucky, your favorite. But this year it seems like they're actually like gonna have like themed like actual lobbies for some of the hotels. So that I'm actually really curious to see what that's gonna look like.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I did, now that you mentioned it, I feel like I did see that somewhere where they're like certain hotels are going to have overlays where it's going to be like, like almost like a haunted house theme in the
Yeah.
lobby. And then some hotels are going to have the photo ops like they had last year. Did you mention the bar that they had last year too? Was that the Chucky? Was that the bar that they
No.
had at one of the
They did
hotels?
have like yeah, it's usually at Cabana Bay every year. So last year they had the Chucky experience at Cabana Bay, and then it was I think it was called, I don't know what the actual name was. It was like Wicked Growth. There's like Little Boo was there and like pumpkin lore type stuff from years before, as like their theme. But apparently this year, like there's gonna be more hotels that are actually themed with the bars and everything too. So I wonder what they're gonna look like.
That's cool.
Because some of the photos online, like one of them looks like it's gonna be like aliens type theme, so that's interesting to see.
Oh, weird. Okay. Well, who
Mm-hmm.
mentioned aliens before? Do you think they're going to have anything? Because I don't think there's anything alien. They haven't mentioned anything alien besides, I guess, like A Quiet Place is kind
Yeah,
of
so like this one
alien.
was like it looked like actual like what you would think like a green alien from and like outer space looked like. That was
It
like the
looked
theme of this
like.
star, but it looked cool though. So I'm curious of like what the other because I think this year they said Endless Summer is also getting their own one, which I'm upset because I'm not staying at Endless Summer, so I want to know what that one's also gonna look like.
Oh, no.
But yeah, like themed lobbies seem fun. Like that seems like Christmas time you're going in. There's a Christmas tree now. It's gonna be Halloween themed. Like that's fun.
Yeah, they're taking notes from Disney with the holiday themes for the hotels. So that's pretty cool. Oh, Mr. Disney King, is this exclusive news? How do you know this? Pam, next week we're getting another IP announced, and finally the frequent fear passes drop next week. Most likely Ghostbusters gets announced.
Nice,
Probably.
nice.
I'm excited.
Out of curiosity, how much is a single day ticket that you guys pay in the States?
The The last time I checked, it starts at $83 a single day ticket, and
Okay, yeah.
then
So it's
depending on the day, went up. So the most I saw was $123.
yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because obviously when we buy them in the UK, it starts at around £70, which is around $88 or something like that. So it's not too dissimilar. So that's.
Yeah.
I was just wondering whether there was much fluctuation there, and when it comes to the currency exchange and things. So.
The Express Pass though is like what's very expensive this year.
Yes. Yeah, how much was the Express Pass, Ash?
It said it was starting at $140, and then again, like usually most Saturdays or like whatever the most expensive day it last saw was $240.
Yeah, so it's more expensive than the ticket, pretty much.
Yeah,
I don't understand that, but okay. So
240 is a lot of money for.
that's a lot. So think that's just one night. So if you get Express Pass for one night, it's like 250 with
Yeah.
tax. So that's expensive. But
So
I mean,
Yeah, that's a lot.
I wonder what they're going to do for the frequent fear price this year. How much it's going to go up in price?
yeah, it's gonna have to. I feel like to justify the single day tickets, the frequent fear pass is gonna have to go up. So it'll be interesting to see next week. Mr. Disney King next week. Frequent fear passes.
I mean, I'm excited. Hopefully,
Yes. Can
and they
you?
also haven't announced the scare zones yet either.
No, none of the scare zones, right? Nothing.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe the aliens that you mentioned, maybe that's gonna be a scare zone.
Maybe that's one of the scare zones. Some aliens are showing up this year. Aliens confirmed. Just kidding.
Stephen asked, "Can you not do all the houses in one night?" I have not been able to without a. I know people have done it with Express Pass.
Yeah, with an express pass, 100%. Without an express pass, you would have to really time manage your whole entire night, but you're definitely gonna miss things. So, you're not gonna be able to like really like spend time in scare zones, or you're not gonna really be able to see the shows. You definitely need an express pass if you're only going one day.
Am I right in thinking? Am I right in thinking though that if barring opening night because, like, obviously, like you say, a lot of people want to go for the opening, or or the opening weekend or whatever. But when it comes to sort of September time, if you're looking at like is it the Wednesdays and Thursdays? Yeah, because they don't do Monday, Tuesday, do they? So it's like I think the Wednesdays and Thursdays are generally a bit quieter. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, usually during the week it is. I mean, like again, someone did say they did do all 10 houses and had food and went to like you probably can do it. It's just it's a very long night.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely like Saturday, Sundays is definitely gonna make the
Oh,
most busiest. Like Friday, Saturday, Sundays is gonna be the most insane. Um, Wednesday, Thursday is gonna be not as terrible, but it's just very like last year the wait times for a lot of the houses are like really long. I guess it also depends if you get lucky, depending what time you're down there and stuff. Um,
yeah.
like I'm
Tim,
sure
did
if you're
you
there
run?
September, early October, it won't be as bad, but towards the end.
Yeah. I think I'm going to look at a Wednesday, Thursday, sort of early September. I think because hopefully it'll be a little bit quieter then, and I'll get to be able to do more for um for for not
Yeah.
having an express pass. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Tim says
also they have like early park admission kind of. Um, so
Yeah.
that's you have to use that time to go in really to like start your day. Like
Yeah.
I thought I saw something. I don't know if this was new this year, but I thought I saw something where the resorts, if you stay at a resort, you get early access. Is that new, Ash?
yeah, so this year they said you could get early well, it's you get an entry gate like so that said it's between 6:30 and 7:30. But I
Yes.
do think Stay and Scream is before that.
Is it really? Is it before that? I've never
I'm
done Stay and
pretty
Scream.
sure Stay and Scream's before that. I mean, I remember like camping out for Stay and Scream like around 5 o'clock. So
Stay and Scream really helps big time. Okay. Is that what you did, Tim? Did you
I
like
always
do
love Stay and Scream.
the Stay and Scream and you just like ran? It was like a marathon. That's
Well, yeah. So
impressive.
when you do Stay and Scream, there's like different like zones you could stay in. So years past, I used to do like the houses that were near like Kid Zone, like back
Okay.
there. So that was like when like the weekend was back there, and what was I forgot what the one that was there the year before, but that's where I used to start, and that's how I used to always do Stay and Scream. But this year, because of like we're doing the whole construction, I ended up doing the New York Stay and Scream. So that's when we used to do like Stranger Things was one of the houses we hit, or we would just skip the main houses, the IPs, and we just went to Dueling Dragons and the Yeti house.
Okay. You have to have like a whole plan.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like a whole science behind it. But again, I don't know. It really depends on because this year is so like original houses, heavy. I don't know how actually bad the lines are going to be, or like what the actual like most popular houses will be. I mean, I'm assuming obviously Quiet Place will be really popular in Ghostbusters, but how bad the lines would be, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Will's going to Halloween Horror Nights on October 30th and 31st. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah.
Good luck. It's probably going to be amazing, but it's going to be super duper crowded. I feel like Halloween, like the closer it gets to Halloween, the more crazy it gets. But it's going to be cool to go there during that time.
Yeah. Some people in the chat, I may be there the same week.
Nice. Oh, see, Tim said he did 4 houses before the main gate opened for the general public. Nice.
Yeah, when you do Stay and Scream, you
Nice. That's
definitely
very
can
cool.
get houses done.
And Stay and Scream, does that cost anything, or is that just like an annual pass thing?
There is a price to it. If you have an annual pass, you don't have to pay anything. But if you don't
Okay.
have one, you do pay. I'm not sure how much it was. I think maybe around 30 or less than 30.
That's a good deal.
Yeah, that
But
seems well worth it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good
Because
deal.
actually, that's what me and my brother used to do some years, is that we would do like whatever houses we could do during Stay and Scream hours. So let's say we got down to like 4 or 5 houses. The rest of the time, you just walked around.
Okay,
So if you like go 2 nights, you could like really break up your like night like that. You could do like your first 5 houses without express passes. You do all that. The next day you go back and do your other 5 houses.
Nice.
That makes sense.
Mr. Disney King goes every year during Halloween week. It's manageable. Okay. So hopefully, I hope it's not crazy for you, Will. So
I mean, also like I'm sure a lot of people also be at like Disney too for Mickey's Not So Scary. So
true.
is there
True.
like a lot of other like stuff to do in Orlando around Halloween? Like, is it a big?
Well, they have, like you mentioned, they have Disney's Mickey Not So Scary Halloween party. I know SeaWorld does a Halloween event every year. I think they during like more the daylight hours, it's more kid friendly, and then they have the more Halloween Horror Nights esque type
Mm,
event later on at night. And then that's more, well, I don't want to get into like Busch Gardens. That's a little further away
yeah.
from Orlando, but that's kind of the big theme park events that I know of. I'm sure they have like local haunted houses and big
Mm-hmm.
uh like kind of, I don't want to say like haunted, like kind of farmhouses, but like the corn mazes
Mm-hmm.
and the tractor rides and all that. So that's something that I actually want to kind of explore more this year. I haven't done any of that so
Mm-hmm.
far here in Orlando. I used to go to the corn mazes and the haunted houses up in Long Island. So hopefully this year I'll be able to get to more like the local haunts more than the theme parks this year. So that'll be exciting. Bronx Nate's asking, has anybody been to Halloween Horror Nights in Hollywood? In Hollywood, is it different from Orlando? Have any? I don't think.
I
Nope,
have not.
I haven't
No.
either.
I would
I
go.
I feel like I've seen so many vlogs and streams from Halloween Horror Nights Hollywood. It is a little different. You can, if you're a vlogger, if you just love, Halloween Horror Nights, you can actually film in the houses at Hollywood. I'm not sure. I know there's like legal reasons why they don't do it here in Orlando, but I know in Hollywood that you can. So I've seen a lot of vlogs, and I'm sure you guys have too. That I feel like the houses, even though I feel like it's a smaller event, maybe just because of the type of like screams, like scare zones that they have, but I feel like the houses are always top notch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if we mentioned it on stream. Ash and I were talking for like a half hour before the stream started, like just talking about Halloween Horror Nights and Universal in general. And I know that the house, which house was it? It was Last of Us. They had a Last of Us house last year at Hollywood and Orlando. And the Hollywood house was just so much more detailed and it had so much more in it, and it was different than the Orlando house. So I feel like it's definitely, if you're out there, I feel like it's worth it to go to Hollywood. And they have the Terror Tram too. So you can basically take, it's kind of like if you've been to Disney, it's the tram that you have from, your car to the front of the park, but you get to kind of go for a ride, and it's a whole story that they have for the Terror Tram. So they have different things at Hollywood. So, but
It
yeah,
would be fun to see.
Hollywood has the whole. I mean, obviously, Orlando is just a theme park these days, isn't it? Whereas Hollywood is still the working studio, and obviously the tram does a lot of the actual studio tour, doesn't it? So they've got a lot of space to be able to do a lot more stuff. Obviously, with the Terror Tram, it'd be great if they could bring something like that to Orlando. I think that would be a great addition, but I just don't know where they could do it, unfortunately. But yeah, if they could do something like that, that'd be cool. But yes, you'd essentially be going into the backstage areas, and it depends how much they could make that accessible to a tram tour, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, exactly. But oh, Mr. Disney King, you've been to Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando? Oh, Hollywood was definitely fun and amazing, but you have to know what you're walking into. Ah, got it. Was there any? I know that they at Hollywood, Universal Hollywood, they have those crazy escalators to because it's on a hill, right? Hollywood. So I feel like that would scare me more than the actual like scare zones and the houses at Universal in Hollywood. So ooh, Tim says I want to do Oogie Boogie Bash one year. That looks great. That I feel like over in California and Disneyland, they have like the overlay for Halloween. They do Nightmare Before Christmas for Haunted Mansion, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a reason why they don't do it here in Orlando, but Mickey's Not So Scary is fun. But I do know Oogie Boogie Bash is an event to go to if you're over in California. So. But I'm trying to think if there was anything I think we kind of mentioned everything for Universal. Should we Ash has her notes. Did we miss
Yeah,
anything?
I think we covered everything basically. Yeah. I wrote down.
But yeah, this was a lot of fun. Any final thoughts on Halloween Horror Nights? Anything you're super excited for that we didn't really cover or that you just wanna talk about?
I'm just excited. I want to know the scare zones.
Yeah. When are they going to be announced?
I also like want. Is there going to be like a theme this year? Like, are we getting like an icon?
An icon, yes, that's something we didn't talk about was the icons every year. I feel like last year we didn't. I mean, we had Dr. Oddfellow, which was kind of like our unofficial icon last year. It wasn't an official icon, which was I think there was some kind of copyright issue, something going on, but hopefully this year we get an icon that hasn't been released at all. Hopefully it's not I won't mention his name, the scary clown, and his
I didn't wear
scary
my Jack shirt.
you didn't wear your Jack shirt. For
like,
me,
no, we can't have that come out. It's not the right shirt.
Thank you, Ash. I appreciate it. No icon this year. They may make. Ooh, hold on. They may make sweets. Oh, the sweet guy, a new icon. Really?
Sweets.
I know there was rumors that they were going to bring back, and I hadn't heard about this. I don't know, Ash, if you know, they were going to bring back Fear as an icon. And I didn't really understand what they were talking about, bringing back Fear.
There's so many like icons or like lore behind all these stories every year. I did see that too, but I don't think that's going to happen because what they release, it doesn't really seem like that's going to happen. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it depends on what the scare zones are, because last year all the scare zones were connected and they were all related to Dr. Oddfellow. But none of the houses have a theme either together, so I don't know how.
No, I think that's what they're missing this year. Maybe it'll all be pulled together. Who knows at the end when they reveal everything. But yeah, no icon has been announced at all. I know people were speculating bringing back older icons like the Usher because there's a lot of movie themed houses or the director. Yeah. But
I mean, both would be really cool. I mean, the same thing too. I also we don't know what the new tribute store is going to be yet either. There's no like Easter eggs, I don't think, yet for what the new one's going to be. So I guess it really depends on what we're going to get the next couple of weeks, what Universal's going to drop. But I do hope we get like some type of icon, because I mean, this year kind of just seems like I mean, I'm excited for everything, but it just seems like there's no real theme going on. It's just a bunch of random original houses. Excited for a lot of like ones to come back. But even the IPs, it's just an interesting year so far. So it's really interesting. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place so far, but who knows? Maybe they'll pull it all together in the end. And talking about merchandise so far, yay or nay?
That's also all over the place.
Yeah, So far, I haven't seen anything I'm like, I'm gonna buy that. I think there was one thing they released recently, and it wasn't like a shirt or anything like that. It was actually like one of the little like statue plaques that
Mhm.
they had. It looked pretty cool. It was with like a skull head with like a mohawk. It was very like punk rock
Yeah.
neon colored.
Mhm.
So that was the only thing I was interested in. Anything with you, Ash, that you've seen?
Also, the Quiet Place shirt was also terrible.
That was interesting, right?
Yeah, like I don't the like years past the merch was so good where like it was like a tough decision to decide like what t-shirt you're gonna buy this year. So so far this year I don't really like anything. Again, what like the punk rock type theme, if that's gonna be the overall theme, like and it's like in the houses, maybe then I'll be connected to it and like I would really want the shirt afterwards. But so far none of it makes sense.
No, it's not. It's all over the place. I know the Quiet Place that that shirt kind of they were like, "What is this?" Because it had nothing to do with the actual IP of A Quiet Place. It was just like a woman doing this, and
Yeah.
it wasn't even a character from A Quiet Place. And I don't know. It was it was
I think
interesting.
like in the back it said like rule one, like stay quiet or something. Like don't
Yes. Yeah. Rule one: stay quiet, and that was
yeah.
it.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Honestly, if that was the front of the shirt and they had something else with it, like I would have been like, oh, okay, like with the creature on it or something, like maybe that would have been a lot cooler. But
Yes.
I hope
Yeah.
I
No.
mean Pennywise would actually be an it house would be really interesting. But
Ooh.
I know not for
No,
you, Pam, but
I'm good. Adam,
yeah, I don't
ha
know. The merch this year is not great.
no, Adam, have you seen any of the merch yet?
I've not. So obviously the description then of the Quiet Place t-shirt. I need to see these now. Like I say, I've been away working, so I've not been able to catch up on a lot of things. So I need to spend this weekend, I think, catching up on what I've missed, and yeah, and then I can offer a bit more of an opinion, I guess, on it. But yeah, it's what you guys are saying. About how it's all over the place at the minute. That's the feeling I've got as well, because I think for the last couple of years, I've watched a lot of the vloggers sort of get hyped up about and the lead up to Halloween Horror Nights, especially people like Jackie or Tim Tracker or people like that. They're always there covering everything, and so far it just seems that everything's just being drip fed this year, and nothing seems all that cohesive with where it's going to. Like you were saying, the lack of icon and things like that as well, or scare zones not being mentioned yet, and everything's just kind of all over the place at the moment. I know, Pam, you were hoping that more IPs would have been released already by now, and it just seems that they're Universal are keeping their cards close to their chest for a little while at the moment. So I'm just excited to see what else gets released, because like I say, I've got more of a vested interest this year because I'm actually going to go this year for the first time like ever. So yeah, so I'm kind of waiting and watching and hoping for more information, but yeah, at the moment it just seems to not be coming down the tracks that readily. So
No, I'm shocked. I thought for sure once they kind of announced A Quiet Place last week, or was it the week before? When did they announce A Quiet Place? I feel like it's been a while,
we were
but
discussing it last Friday night. So yes, I think
been a week.
it's been over a week now. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought they would at least mention one more IP, like once, like one a week, since they mentioned the first one. But I don't know. I
Honestly,
mean,
like all their announcements kind of been weird too. Like even if you think about it, like them opening up the Epic Universe preview store before they even announced the last two worlds were kind of weird. I mean, we knew it was coming. Like if you're like an actual like theme park fan, you already knew the lands were going to be there. But it was just a weird also like move too. It's like we're gonna open this, but we're also not going to tell you yet what these other two like portals are. It just seemed also
Yeah.
like a weird move by Universal.
yeah. And you were mentioning before, Ash, that this is a little late for them to be announcing the IPs, and like they haven't even mentioned any of the scare zones yet.
Yeah, usually it's like the IPs come first, and then they will do like original houses um, followed by like usually the day they do like frequent fear passes, like, oh, these are also the scare zones.
Okay, so maybe next week we'll get some scare zones then.
Yeah, I mean, I
And
still think they should have done the Universal Monsters house when they announced the Dark Universe.
Like Tim says, there's only like 70 days to go now, so
true.
yeah.
But I feel
Yes.
like usually like this, like now, like when people like start planning their trip, so I feel like if like you're still waiting on like a big IP or something, like maybe you didn't book your trip yet, you're still holding out on whatever Universal announces.
True. True. And yeah. And guys, check out Adam's channel. Adam's
Oh,
Land.
thank you, guys.
Thanks, Stephen. But I guess we'll wrap it up here. We got 110 likes. Thank you guys. Thank you for liking the stream. And thank you to everyone not only watching right now during the live, but also after. So that always shocks me. Everybody watching the stream after it's ended. So thank you guys. Thank you. And TD is already saying it. No, everyone's saying no in
Did you make it
chat.
to 3,000 yet?
No, I'm hoping not. I'm hoping. I'm just going to say no. I'm just saying no. I actually have no idea. It's funny because I can't see the likes or anything on here. There's probably a way to do it, but I'm Pam and this is me. So don't Dave saying no. Thank you to my amazing mods, the real Steven TV, TD, and Zolwib Dave. And I saw Rob in chat before. I don't know if Rob, if you're still in chat. Adam says no in chat too.
No.
No in chat. Thank you guys. But if you guys wouldn't mind saying good night in chat so that I can thank you for kind of hanging out with us. And thank you to my special guests. We have Ash Lauren, thank you so much, my Halloween Horror Nights expert, and Adam from Adam's Land. Thank you so much. I'm so sorry I woke
Thank you,
you
Pam.
up. I'm so
You
sorry.
did not. Again, you didn't wake me up. Ebony woke me up. I was. I'm so sorry that I was late because. Yeah, it's just one of those things. Like I say, it's been a really long couple of weeks. I've put in a lot of miles, and I was kind of. I sort of got home, sorted everything out earlier, ate food, and I was like, I just need some downtime. So I'm just gonna close my eyes for a little bit. I set an alarm and nothing. so then when Ebony came downstairs for a drink, I opened my eyes. I was like, what time is it? and I looked. I was like, oh no. So yeah,
No.
I think it's the quickest I've moved.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And oh yeah, I have to talk about what I got in the mail. Thank you guys for sending me letters. I got a postcard. Thank you guys so much. I don't know if you guys want me saying anything. I know Steven sent me a bunch of stuff that some of it I have in my background right now. I have my Eevee that he sent me, and then I have my DeLorean down here. Thank you guys so much. And an umbrella for my phone because it gets so hot here in Florida that your phone when you're streaming needs a little umbrella. So this is what I have now when I stream during the day. So thank you, Stephen. And I got a bunch of other stuff. I think I got a sticker with time traveling. Stephen made this for me. This is Pink Pam 86. Time traveling with a DeLorean. So thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the sweet, kind letters. I cried. I won't say anything. I don't know if you guys want me mentioning your names or anything, but thank you so much for sending me that. It made my day. So when I went to my P.O. box, thank you guys so much. But thank you. Let me go back into chat so I can say good night to everyone. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Huggy. Thank you. Thank you, Will. Thank you, Max. Have a great night, guys. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Mr. Disney King. Thank you, Stanley. Thank you, Adam. I see Adam in chat.
You're welcome.
Yeah, and Adam he'll have more content on his channel, especially when he comes here to Orlando, vlogging everything.
A lot of
Maybe a
vlogs planned.
stream?
Yeah. Almost definitely a stream. There's going to be a pub talk live, drinking around the world. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
are you going to come and partake, Pam?
I will definitely attend if I am invited. Yes, thank you.
Of course, you're invited. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, S. Becker. Yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Woo, I'm scrolling through. Thank you, Tim. Have a great night, guys. And is anybody streaming right now? Is Pete streaming right now? Is Pete McDevitt streaming? Hold on, let me check. Is Pete streaming right now? If he's still streaming, head over to the Pete McDevitt show and say Pink Pam sent you. Is he streaming? Hold on, let me check.
Use the hashtag Pamela Invasion.
He is. He's live right now. So head over to the Pete McDevitt show. He's doing his Friday night Walt Disney World and Disneyland news stream right now. So tell him that Pink Pam sent you. And head on over to the Pete McDevitt show. And Steven just put the link in chat, guys. Awesome. Head on over there. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Bronx Nate. Thank you guys so much. And thank you so much, Ash and Adam, again for joining me. Family invasion, exactly. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Michelle. Thanks, guys. Good night, everyone. But yeah, head on over to the Pete McDevitt show. And thank you guys for liking the stream. Thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed and you're new, consider subscribing. I live stream every Wednesday and Saturday and an occasional Friday home stream. So I think we'll definitely do a part 2 of Halloween Horror Nights home stream when they release the rest of the IPs and all of the scare zones. So what do you guys think?
I'll try to make it on time for that one.
Sounds good.
Thank you for having us on again tonight, Pam, as well.
Thank you guys. But yeah, thank you guys, and make sure head on over to the Pete McDevitt show and say Pink Pam sent you. And I'm gonna end the stream here. I guess I'll say my ending. I will be somewhere tomorrow. Hopefully there's rain on a Saturday. But I will be somewhere amazing, somewhere here in Orlando, Florida. Thank you guys so much for joining me tonight and my special guests. Thank you. Have a great night.